Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
Derk Harron.
Back with another comic review for you guys. This one, I think, is the cover definitely makes it look like it's super horror, but it also might be considered more sci-fi, action, thriller, also with horror elements mixed in.
Ultra violent.
Ultra violent, yeah, that's for sure, which is, again, part of why I love it. But we are going to be talking about the first 6 issues of Extremity. And this is a really, really cool comic, in my opinion. I ended up getting the first issue. I had it for a while. I didn't actually read it, and then I went to the comic store on a day where there was like $1 book sale. So I grabbed like the next 5 issues because they were all there for, $5 total. And I went home and I read it, and I was so glad that I did. I really enjoyed this. It's it's sort of a complicated story to explain, but it's not that bad. But Dirk, you want to give your best shot at it?
Yeah, there's like these different kingdoms, and as you can see in the photo, like it's like these floating cities, and each city like kind of has like their own kingdom, and at one point, like one of the kingdoms got in a fight with another kingdom, and they ended up cutting off the nose of the princess. And so they were so angry, they built up their army, they came back, they ended up killing the king's queen, cutting off the hand of his daughter, because she loved to draw too, so that was one thing that just infuriated both her and her father. And then so many years have passed now. He's built up his army, and he's ready to take them out, basically.
Yeah, and it becomes a bit of an inter-family struggle because the son and the daughter, they're aligned sort of at first as far as siblings go, but then they start to splinter a little bit, and one becomes less quote-unquote loyal to the family than the other, at least according to the dad.
Yeah, it's just because like the son doesn't like violence. He feels like he cannot take a life, and there's just so much hatred in the daughter for taking away her talent, that like she is like totally on board with taking out this kingdom. And so right off the bat, there's that conflict between the siblings and also the father, because he thinks that his son is weak because he won't step up for the family.
Right. I actually liked how the drama played out in the family amongst the violence of the war, because I thought it heightened the actual investment that I had in the story. And again, like you said, ultra violent. So I enjoyed the hell out of that because, again, I'm a big gore hound. I'm a horror fan, so it kind of goes hand in hand with a lot of us. But yeah, I mean, the story itself was good. It was somewhat political, but not too political for my own liking. Again, it seems more character driven than overall story driven, which I like because that means the characters can sort of drive the story in an organic way rather than having the story trying to drive the characters.
Well, I also like the story behind the son too, because he's so because once again there's kind of like it has like a medieval feel to it, but then there's also there's spaceships and stuff like that. Like there's what they keep finding all these, like, they feel like they're almost like relics, but it's like this new technology that's in this other floating island that's called the Wasteland, and that's where like no one's supposed to go there, but a lot of people go there to scavenge for parts and everything, and then like I like it that at one point they go there, and then the son finds like this robot, and he becomes friends with it, and so there's like, I really liked his story because it even though there's like some great like battles and wars, you're also seeing the other side of it as well, through his eyes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, very much so. But let's shift to the artwork.
okay.
So again, I talked about the gore, which means that part of it is very successful. But you guys can see from the front cover there, I mean, it's some really cool stuff. Let me pull up another couple of covers. Of course, issue 2 is what made me buy into the series because it, of course, had a giant monster on it.
Yeah.
So
There's some like great monsters in it.
yeah. So I really like that. And then the pattern continued for the next. I mean, it wasn't a giant monster, but it was giant soldiers, and all he has is his shovel. So that was really cool. Yeah, and I really like this issue as well. I thought that was really good, showing, you know, the influence of a father on his daughter, but his hands and now her shoulders are thus covered in blood.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really powerful image too. Like, there's just a lot of really great imagery, and all of that is mimicked inside the book as well. So again, as the artist, I have to ask, what were your thoughts on this one?
Well,
Because this is what I likened it a lot to Paul Pope. If you guys know who that is, he did Batman Year 100 and a number of other things, but it was very Paul Pope, and but I really enjoyed the hell of it. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no. I enjoyed the artwork. Like what I really enjoyed about it was that, like, the battle sequences. Like, there was just so much detail to, like, every soldier fighting another soldier, and then it's almost kind of like a Where's Waldo, where there's just so many characters in one panel, or like a double splash page, where you're seeing these battles taking place, and limbs getting cut off, and like bellies getting split open, and so I really enjoyed all that.
Right.
I remember reading this comic, the first issue, and not really enjoying it. Like, I feel
I
like
remember.
I
remember you saying that.
yeah. So I just remember just thinking that, like, it felt a little cliche, the beginning of the story, but once they introduced, like, kind of the sibling, and then, like, the conflict in the family, and then also seeing the flashbacks to the war that started this new war, I was sold. I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm back in, because I think that sometimes, comics are so expensive nowadays that, like, you read the first issue, doesn't grab you, so then you just don't want to, like,
move on. Yep.
Yeah. So, but I was glad that you took advantage of $1 day.
Yeah.
And
because I was like, dude, just trust me, just read the rest. It's worth it. It's worth it. And he did, and he loved it. So
yeah.
There's not much more to say besides that. I mean, the artwork is crisp and yet a little bit muddy, like in the best ways, like during the battle scenes and stuff like that. And there is a lot of minute detail, like you said. There's scenes. I guess I haven't shown any of the actual artwork, so let me pull some out so people can see. I'll go to the first issue here, but
I think the world building for this comic was great. There's a map that they keep referencing in the comic as well, that kind of just shows you the world. So
it's a good page for the horror show.
But yeah, like, just like cutting a guy into
that's a bunch of carnage just on one 2-page spread.
But yeah, I like the different kingdoms. Like, one looks more like samurai, the other one looks more like like medieval, but then there's like these sci-fi elements. So it's interesting. I really enjoy it. Plus, you can't go wrong with, like, monsters and giant insects and lots
of things that can kill you and that should scare you. Like, it's really good stuff. I'm trying to get to one.
And I love the robot in it too, because, like, I don't know if this is kind of like a spoiler, but like I like how like the robot was originally created for war, and then like then once he's introduced to the son, he like understands like pacifism and like doesn't want to fight anymore, doesn't want to take lives because like his memory is kind of muggy, but all he does remember is killing.
Right.
And then he's just like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like now that I can see that, you don't have to do that. Like I don't want to.
Yeah, and that's the cool kind of character growth you're going to see and stuff. So it's just really worth it, you guys. I'm sure the first trade is going to be available soon if it's not already. But yeah, make sure you check out Extremity. Until next time, though, I've been Cecil Laird.
Derek Harron.
Let us know in the comments down below if you're going to check it out. But remember, stay scared.